Cappies, welcome to Tarot in the Dark. My name is Tori. Tonight we're going to take a look at this upcoming week. This is the week of August 18th through the 24th. I'm getting back on track, y'all. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. If it's your first time here, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to seeing what Spirit has in store for you. All right, forgive me, guys. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Just heads up, I might have some shaking. Got to move that out of the way. There we go. All right, Cappies. Divine flow. Ooh, I love that. And then grounded energy coming out. Ooh, your cards are flying out. Turmoil. Something is tormenting you. But this feels like it's something from the past, something that's deeply rooted in you. It's asking to come out. I'm seeing the Devil card, which you know that's your energy. Bottom of the deck is send out help to others. So this is about you overcoming these obstacles so that you're able to assist and support others. There's something about your divine feminine energy of receiving, bringing yourself into balance and falling into alignment with where you're supposed to be in this world, okay? There's a big emphasis on grounding, and look, intuition is underneath that. I do believe this is very true. This is an awakening for you, okay? The intuition card here with the grounded energy is asking that you allow your intuition to center you in regards to where you're supposed to be. Allow your intuition to stabilize your energy, okay? As you're going through this, what feels like turmoil, it's almost as if you're being like swayed, like your energy is being pushed and moved back and forth. On the 22nd of this week, guys, we do have a new moon in Virgo. So that is going to be about putting practical ideas into bringing practicality to your ideas, to these new opportunities, and to the things that you wish to manifest and bring in, okay? New moons are all about beginning. So in this new beginning, anytime something is beginning, it's new, there has to be an ending, right? I think you've been massively transforming from the inside out, and that's why this feels like turmoil. It feels like hell because those roots, those things that have been embedded in you that have been keeping you stuck and in bondage are being pulled out at the foundation and at the base of who they are, so that the new you can be allowed to come in, to thrive and to flourish. And I'm hearing for you very clearly, Cappies, that there will be no more stagnant energy. There's no more resistant energy. It's almost as if like the veil has been torn and the doors have been knocked wide open for you. But that has not been easy. Okay? So it's like you've gone through hell in order to be able to get to the other side. But right now, this week, it feels like you're still in hell, and the reason why is because that old version of you is like dissipating. That old version of you is going away. But it's amazing too how like Spirit is showing this to me, because it's very beautiful. It's almost like the tree is like growing out of the ground and the roots are being separated. And you know how you buy a plant, you pick it up out the pot and the roots are stuck together? Well, what's happening and what's been happening within you, which is why this feels like turmoil, is almost like the gardener, which is Spirit, right, has been loosening up those roots, loosening the grip that those roots have had on you. And those roots being gripped so tight, that was comfortable for you. So now Spirit is causing discomfort within you, and it's all for your benefit. And it's also going to benefit others. It's teaching you how to flow in the divine flow. Let's read the card here. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others, to follow the Tao, the divine flow, at all costs. That's exactly how this feels. Like it's like something within you, those roots that have been stuck and tight and unable to move, kind of been very closely intertwined and connected. This is the shadow parts of you. And there's no freedom in this. Like, look at how hard it is for me to pull my hands apart. There's no freedom in this. And so what's been happening is spirit has been in there just kind of like loosening up the grip that shadow, inner child, ego self has had on you to allow you to move more freely. And look at this. I love this. Look at how spirit just brings everything together. Now this is you, free falling, coming out of the turmoil and into the divine flow. Your spirit guide can lead you, but can't do it for you. And this is why this feels so intense, because it's been tedious for you. It's been challenging, to say the least. But it's because you're literally moving from one phase in life to the next. It's almost like this chapter is being closed and a new one is beginning. You're closing out the old chapter and opening and beginning anew. And that's painful because that old version of you has to go in that old chapter. Like the book is closed after that last chapter, and now you're going to start a new one. So how spirit is showing this to me now is that there's a series of books, you know, like Harry Potter books. There's a series. That series 1 is closed out. That was the old chapter. Now you're going into series 2. But you notice when you move to a different series that book is completely closed. It's finalized. And with that finalization is a death of the old version of you. The turmoil is the old self going away. You missing the old self, grieving the old self, right? Being angry that old self can no longer be a part of you. More than likely, you've lost some people in that old version of you, right? People, places, houses, cars, money, stability, etc. has been lost in that old chapter, in that series 1. But now as you move into series 2, I think you can see the beauty that's in series 2, but it's painful to let go of that old self. It's painful. Guys, these cards, your cards are so in alignment. I love this for you guys. Let me tell you, Cappies, you guys are gangsters. Not in a negative way, but I'm talking about like G's. Like, you got to be a boss to come through energy like this. And I love this for you. Like, I'm ready to cry. I've had a few of these readings this week that have had me ready to cry, because guys, the energy of the collective is very, very, very strongly surrounding the theme of releasing the old to allow in the new. That Lionsgate portal that we had on 8/8 was super powerful, more powerful than I think I can even recognize in the collective energy. And I'm so like thankful and grateful to see how far so many of you and so many of us have come. Because for you in particular, what I'm picking up on right now is that you've been sitting in this murkiness. That was the 2 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. It was in reverse. You've been sitting in this murky energy, like the lotus that's waiting to blossom, but feeling bogged down and weighed down by the mud. And it's like all of a sudden, there's something that's triggered in you. The light bulb goes off and you're like, wait a second. I actually can change my life. I don't have to stay in this turmoil. I can come out of it. And it's just beautiful to see how you've been investing in that energy to change your situation. It's like a recognition that you have power and authority over your life. And I love this. It's amazing. So in your past energy, the energy that needs to be healed is this 4 of Pentacles. This is immediately I heard a holding back and a resistance to change. Okay? What I'm picking up on is that the resistance to change was not necessarily because you wanted to hold on to something, but it feels to me like there's fear surrounding this energy. It definitely fear in regards to your heart space. Being afraid and concerned, fearful that if you allow yourself to open up, that you could potentially collaborate with the wrong people. That's coming through very, very strongly with this Four of Pentacles. There's a concern that you need to protect your heart because no one else has in the past. And unfortunately, what Spirit is saying in this reading is that that energy has kept you from being able to freely live and allow the divine flow. It's also kept you from being able to access the next phase in life. The resistance is actually the challenge here. The Fool is the blockage. In resisting change, in holding on to what you see as security, meaning like protecting and guarding your heart, not taking action towards new things, new people, places, jobs, etc., due to fear of loss. Scarcity consciousness is coming through right now, or fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Those fears, those inner child wounds that each and every one of us have, guys, almost all of us have some type of scarcity consciousness, fear-based mindset that we have to work with and work through. But that's kept you from your potential. It's kept you from taking a risk with the Fool here. And it's also kept you from really being able to be free. Like with this Fool energy as a blockage, I'm picking up on an energy of someone who wants to be free, but you feel blocked from freedom. But like I said, inadvertently, you're not realizing that you're the blockage. This reading is all about you, Cappies. And I love you guys. I tell you all the time, I got Cappy in my chart. I actually am a Capricorn in Vedic astrology, so I can relate to all of this. I know what it's like to be hurt by others, to have taken risk on people and not received a payout, but instead received grief and turmoil from the individuals that were supposed to love you and provide you with great opportunities in life, and instead they provide you with, you know, again, turmoil or lies, dishonesty, right? There's a strong energy here about you desiring to just be free. I think you want to be free from the pain. You want to be free from the suffering. And I really feel like you want to be free from the need to control. That's coming through very strongly. This Seven of Swords in your current energy is stating that this situation is stressful to you. You feel like life has been like stolen from you, like you're missing out on opportunities, like you're unable to really receive the gifts and abundance of life that you know that you're destined for. It's almost like it's keeping you in this mental prison nonstop because you feel very disconnected and like you're not rooted or grounded in your energy. But the energy is, the Seven of Swords here is showing that there's some self-sabotage that's involved in all of this. That there's self-sabotage due to you being dishonest with yourself. You're stealing and robbing your opportunities from yourself due to you holding back and resisting the change. And I really sincerely am feeling that the resistance to change is only like subconsciously done. Like, I don't think you know that that's what's happening. I don't think you realize that you're blocking the flow, but there's something about the things that come up in the dark. Like that's coming through very strongly. Something coming up in the middle of the night. You could be having nightmares. You could be having, you know, visions and being awakened with thoughts and ideas of things that have happened to you, traumatic experiences that have happened to you. Something like that is coming through. The something else that's coming through right now, guys, sorry I couldn't get it out, but is that you're not going through this for no reason. Like this isn't going to be in vain. So although when we're in the pits, we don't really want to hear this. I don't, at least. I don't want to hear that you're doing this for other people, because I'm like, there's no way I could help other people if I'm sitting in this myself nonstop, right? Like, how do you even think about supporting and assisting others when you can't even get yourself out? And that's what your energy feels like to me this week, is that you're trying to rescue yourself. You're like, I need help. I need to be rescued. And not rescued in a sense that like you need somebody to come in and save you or you're waiting on a savior, but it's more so like, I'm trying to get myself out of this funk. How can I consider or think about helping somebody else when I don't even know how I'm going to get out of this, right? I'm trusting that Spirit's going to get me out without me knowing how. But the reality of it is that mindset, right? That mindset is what's keeping you stuck, because the hidden energy here is the Two of Wands, which is that you're being influenced by these decisions that you're making, even in a mental space with that Seven of Swords. Those thoughts, those ideas that are flowing through your mind, as they come up in your mind, you're making a decision when the thought comes up what to do with it, whether or not it's going to influence you in a positive way, or if it's going to deter you from wanting to move forward positively because it's so negative, right? It's like what you feed and water will grow is what's coming through very strongly with this Two of Wands energy. So Spirit is advising you with this Knight of Pentacles to be intentional, to invest in your positive thinking, your affirmations, to invest in like really practical and tangible ways of doing things. Like, how can you move forward and invest in yourself so that it benefits you? This is the Knight of Pentacles energy. This is about stability, it's about consistency, and it's about progress. Okay, so how can you create some type of an investment in you that's going to benefit you long term? That's the Knight of Pentacles energy, that Virgo energy. Again, we have that new moon on Friday the 22nd. So keep in mind throughout this week, as you're going through the week, that this is all about you making the decision. The bottom of the deck energy was the Two of Pentacles, and it was in reverse. This is about creating some type of stability and balance within you. Again, going back to being practical about this, since it's this earth energy, which you're very much aware of. How can you create practical and tangible routines to help you balance yourself out? This cross is being called out to me right now, so I'm not sure for some of you if you maybe want to go to church, if you have a way to listen to Christian music that may calm you down. There's something about wrapping yourself. Your voice, your throat chakra is important this week. So protecting your throat. And this really feels like protecting your throat, protecting what you speak to yourself. Now, one thing I want to bring to your attention that's being shown to me right now is what you feel in your throat and speak to yourself immediately is connected to your thoughts, right? So they're showing me the connection between your throat and your brain and how close in proximity they are. And it's like you have to be careful what you speak through your throat, because it goes directly to your brain just like that. The space is so far and few, it's shortened, right? The distance is shortened is what they're showing me. So the distance from your throat to your brain is so short that as soon as you think it in your throat, as soon as you want to speak it in your throat, it goes directly to your brain. So the decision, the Two of Wands energy, the decision that you're being advised to make this week is to think thoughts, speak things that will benefit and influence you in a very harmonious and prosperous way, to create and restore the balance in your life that has been robbed due to these traumatic experiences that you've had in the past. And that's divine flow is what they're saying. Divine flow is not diminishing or doing away with these thoughts when they pop up, because that's going to happen to us for the rest of our lives. Divine flow is when the thoughts come up, making the decision to not water them, making the decision to minimize them, to shrink them down by immediately transitioning yourself to something positive that is affirming to you. And also something with your ears, being careful what you allow your ears to hear. That's coming through very loudly. Be careful as to what you allow your ears to hear, because what I'm hearing is there's something about the community and the people around you that may want to keep you stuck in the dark space that you were in. And it's you're being cautioned to be careful of the company that you keep. Okay, this is going to be a very It feels like a very sensitive week for you, Cappies, to be honest. It feels like you are going to need to absolutely ground yourself, rely on your intuition, and trust that this awakening, which is exactly what you're going through. You're going through an awakening for sure. This is like a Kundalini spiritual awakening for you, Cappies. As you're going through this initiation period is what I heard. You're needing to go within and spend more time alone and deeply connect yourself to spirit this week so that you feel more connected to yourself and the space around you. There's absolutely a need to be more isolated and hermited in your energy this week, or at least being able to protect your energy is how it's coming across. Just being able to protect and kind of bubble yourself from any outside influences, because it's going to be a challenging week for you in the sense that you are overcoming and coming out of this turmoil. Remember, those roots that were so tightly intertwined into who you were are being loosened this week, okay? So there's an awakening and a loosening of the energy to allow you to operate in more of a divine flow and bring in these blessings that you've been desiring, okay? One thing too, I don't know why the Spirit is having me say it. In an awakening and in manifestation, which is what you've been clearly doing, a part of that is recognizing and understanding that manifesting is not only about material gains. Okay, it's not only about gaining financial gains and benefits, but it's more about falling into alignment with the life that you truly desire. And that could absolutely include financial gains, but spiritually, it's about aligning you and awakening you to where you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to operate and flow in life. That is true awakening, in my opinion. It's less about the things that we gain financially and materialistically, and more about allowing ourselves to fall into alignment with spirit so that we can flow in life. And that also naturally will bring in financial abundance and prosperity. It'll also bring in joy, more laughter, more childlike energy, more peace. You know, those things naturally come when you fall into an alignment and fall into alignment with where you're supposed to be. So maybe a sensitive week for you, Cappies, but you got this. Push through. Remember your strength, your tenacity, and your fortitude. Push through this week. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next, especially with this achievement card under the deck. Remember, it's going to be an adventure, but you're being protected with Father Sky here. I love this. This is beautiful. Your ancestors, your spirit guides, spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Lord, God, they are with you. Whoever you want to resonate with. Have a great night, Cappies. Thanks for watching. If you wouldn't mind dropping a comment, liking and subscribing, that would be fantastic. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have an amazing week. Thanks again. Bye.